Hey beekeepers, welcome back. It's another movie review! Yay! Sarah, it's all you do. I know. It's a problem. It's okay. Alright, it's okay. I have not an addiction. It's just that's what I do. For fun, I go see movies, okay? So I am actually early-ish on this movie review, so I didn't wait months. Yay! It's the day after I watched the movie Speak No Evil. And it has James McAvoy in it, and he's so good in it. He's very good actor. The cast is very good. There will be spoilers in this video, so if you want to watch the movie first, that's fine, but you gotta come back, okay? Rachel, you said last time when I did The Quiet Place that you were gonna come back, and you didn't. And you shouldn't lie, because that's not nice. And I mean, I'm not your mom, I can't make you do it, but come on. And then when you come back, also subscribe. That'd be great. Helps the channel. So I went and saw Speak No Evil yesterday, and I first saw the preview of it, and I was like, oh, this seems a little interesting. I'm gonna have to go and see this. And they really didn't give much away. I will say most of the scenes, other than like the end, they showed in the preview anyway. So like the most of the like really off the wall like behaviors of James McAvoy was shown during the preview. So nothing was too shocking. But there, like I said, will be spoilers in this video, so this is your warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi! Okay, so if you don't know anything about it, this is a movie about a family who is like a mom and dad and a daughter, and they live in London, and they're traveling, and they're going to different countries and things like that. I'm not much of a geographical person, so I was having trouble keeping up where everybody was, but they're like in Spain, and then they're in London, and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Good for them. So they were a family, and it's very interesting to watch the dynamics of this family. And they're like the average family. They're pretending to be something they're not, because like they're pretending to be like, oh yeah, I'm a professional businessman and I'm really successful, and my wife is a successful worker too, and we have the perfect daughter, and they are on this vacation. They meet this other couple who seem to be the perfect doctor and his doctor's wife, and they have a son, and their son has a disability, and so he has trouble communicating, and so like they have like that, oh that's sweet, they take care of their disabled son persona. And there's just so many like obvious like red flags that this family deserved it, especially the husband, the good family. We'll differentiate it for like the good people and the bad people. So James McAvoy's family is the bad people. That's the doctor, the wife, and the son. Okay, son. So we have the good family, and then we have the bad family. So the good family is trying to enjoy their vacation. They're trying to avoid the crazy people at their vacation, and they meet this bad family. And they're like, oh yeah, we're quick friends, and they eat dinner together. They both agree they don't like this one couple, so they're helping them avoid each other. And the bad family rents a Vespa and takes the girl on a ride, and he just kind of encourages her to do things that the parents are against, but he still takes her on the Vespa ride. They set like a boundary line, and he just keeps like inching his way across it, like, oh, no Vespa? Yeah, get on, it's fine, get on the Vespa, yeah, kind of those kind of things. So it's like, he just seems eccentric, right? So they're like, oh yeah, we have to get together, come to our house. And the good family comes home. I don't remember their last name, so I would use that, but we're gonna use good and bad. So they go home, and they realize that their crappy life was waiting for them back when they go home, because they were telling on vacation, oh yeah, we love London, and we did it as a family because he needed it for his work career, and we love it there. And then they get home and it's raining, and she's like, why do we live in London? And their daughter clearly has like some mental health issues. Like she's 11. They make that comment multiple times because she still has her stuffed animal friend, her comfort object, which is a rabbit named Hoppy. Every time I say comfort object, I think of the book The Giver. So forgive me if I laugh every time I say comfort object. It just makes me think of The Giver. If you know, you know. But anyway, so she is very obsessed with this rabbit, the stuffed animal. She almost acts as if Hoppy is a living being. Sometimes, and like she gets very high anxiety, and I think they said like this she goes to therapy, but she needs to go back. It sounds like they all went to therapy at one point. They all need to go back. Like they're having marital issues. The wife was talking to another guy, and he was texting her dick pics, and he found out. So she didn't really cheat, but she was emotionally cheating, kind of thing. And they moved to London, but the job didn't work out. Now they're stuck in London. They don't really have any money. So they have a lot going on. Dad is determined that the little girl doesn't need the stuffed rabbit anymore. He's embarrassed about it, basically. And he's like, aren't you worried people are going to make fun of her? I'm like, who gives a crap? Okay? I think it's convenient, though, that this girl is so obsessed with this rabbit. She loves this stuffed rabbit to pieces, but she always loses it. It's like that dreaded day when you have a toddler and they're using the pacifier and they lose the pacifier. Or they have like their favorite blanket or stuffed animal and you cannot find it to save your life and you know you won't sleep for the next 3 years. That. But she's 11. But she keeps losing it everywhere they go. She loses it in different countries. Like this poor rabbit has been lost so many times. And she has like full on panic attacks. And I feel like, I don't know, it was hard to decide to me if it was the acting or it was the actual panic attack, but the panic attack kind of seemed fake just because, and I know for like her age I'm sure it was hard to like pretend to have a panic attack, but like after like, okay fine, we'll go find it, she's fine. So I don't know if that was just like acting part of it or it's like she's kind of being a brat and she's like, oh, I can't find this rabbit. And she's having to do, like, breathing exercises with her mom. And then, like, he's fine, I'll go get it. And she's like, okay. So, I don't know. That was just something that my friend and I observed. But we also observed that rabbit just disappears. And it was kind of like the cat on The Quiet Place. It was only for plot convenience when that rabbit actually existed. So anyway, they decide, okay, well, we came back to this crappy place. Let's go and see our new friends that we've only been together for like, let's say 4 hours tops and spend the weekend at their house in a different country and go in the middle of nowhere where we don't know where we're at and we don't know anybody. Let's do it. Let's go. So they decide to go to this couple's house and they're weird, like they said. He claims to be a doctor, and that's how they can afford their nice home because they live in the middle of nowhere with a lot of property, a lot of storage. It was insanely weird. The house was old, but they had a lot of property, and there's automatically red flags because they're like, this house doesn't seem like a house that a doctor would live at. Like, it's not run down, but it's not nice. It's very small, very cozy. They don't have very much. The Good Family's wife made a big point to say that she's a vegetarian. She doesn't really approve of eating food. Well, she's technically a pescatarian, so I don't know why they kept saying vegetarian, because she'll eat fish. So she's a pescatarian. That bothered me. But so there was always like conversations about, well, you're wrong. That's not something that's helping the world. But she's like, yeah, I'm helping the world. So that her and McAvoy had a lot of arguments about that. So it was like pushing boundaries because they get to their house. He makes dinner. He says, oh yeah, we killed our prize goose for you for dinner. And like he like is hand feeding the good wife the food, and she feels like she has to eat it even though she's made it clear multiple annoyingly times that she's a vegetarian, not a pescatarian. A vegetarian is what she says. And so she eats it, and they're like, and she's like, I want to go home. The husband's like, no, it's fine. We have to give him a shot. We can't just leave for no reason. It was weird, but it's okay. And they keep on just like giving off these red flags, and like the dad is so desperate for acknowledgement from a man that he's successful and a good husband and a good dad, that he just is wanting to stay, because that's what James McAvoy's character is doing. His name's Patty, and Patty keeps instilling into this guy that oh yeah, you're great, and you could be just like me. I'm a successful doctor, and I have a great family. I have a wife that loves me. I take care of my disabled son. We're perfect. You're perfect too. You're a good dad. You're successful. So he's like taking him like hunting. He takes him out to the woods just to scream. So I feel like that's the reason why they weren't leaving, was because the dad's like, oh no, we gotta stay. And it was because Patty was just reinforcing, like, oh yeah, you're a great guy, you're successful, you're a great dad. And I feel like that's how he draws in other people, because you quickly find out that this isn't the first family that's come after meeting them on vacation. Because people are idiots. Okay? People are idiots who just go to random people's houses, don't do any research. It's called Google. Google them. Do they have a Facebook profile? Look at that. Don't just go to their house and be like, oh, we'll stay at a hotel and we'll visit you. That makes more sense. Why? Why do you take your family to a random person's house? But anyway, so this kid, his name is Ant, which is weird. I'm guessing it stands for Antonio or something like that. His name is Ant, and the good family has a daughter. Forget her name. It's fine. She mostly says Hoppy, so I'm gonna call her Hoppy Girl. So Hoppy Girl and Ant, they play together. They're about the same age. Ant is very stressed out. You can tell that he's trying to communicate with this girl, and he cannot get her to understand him because he doesn't have a tongue. And the doctor family's always like a step ahead. So like Patty's always explaining things as it happens. So it's like if they cross a boundary and the good family's not happy with it, they always have a reasoning or an explanation. So like Ant's trying to communicate, and they quickly explain, oh yeah, he was born with a smaller tongue, so he can't talk. It explains the fact that they actually cut his tongue out. You find that later they actually cut his tongue out, so that he could speak no evil. He could not tell anyone that these people are evil. Hence the name, Speak No Evil, okay? So, and it's kind of obvious with the previews, because he does, with his tongue that would have been out, and he shows that he's cut, so. Alright, you knew it drew you in, it drew me into. So you know it. So anyway, so he's trying to like give this little girl notes, and of course he's not educated. It's implied that he's not been educated because he writes letters, but they don't make sense. It's just like a bunch of jumbled letters. It shows it really quickly. I feel like if I was able to look at it a little longer, like pause the screen, I would have been able to make some of it out. But as soon as he feels like the mother's coming close, he crumples it up, puts it in his mouth, and eats it. So he doesn't want anyone to see it. And the little girl's like, Mom, there's something weird about him. And the good mom's like, you don't say that. She's like, no, there's something weird going on. I'm not saying that he's weird because he doesn't have a tongue. I'm saying it was weird because he's trying to tell me stuff and I don't understand anything he's saying, Mom. And it sounds like he's just in distress and he's trying to tell me something's wrong, but I don't know what it is. And be polite is basically what that conversation led to. So they stay together. There's a few red flags along the way. Just like, this is weird. I'm omitting things to say in my brain because I don't want to give the whole story away. But there's a scene where it's like the little girl keeps wanting to come to bed to her parents' bed at night because she's not acting her age as far as like she's needing comfort. And I really think it stems from the fact that her parents aren't doing well. Like their relationship wise, they're arguing and you can tell that they're just not okay. And it's because of the potential cheating and things not going well with work life. She moved to London for him, and she didn't want to move to London, and now she has nobody but him and the daughter, so she gave up her life to prove to him that she wants to be with him, and she's not happy. He came to London, but there's no job in London, so they're just stuck in London now, and they are not happy. So I think that's where most of the girl's issue stems from, is she can tell that things are not okay at home, and she kind of like, I think she also feels like, from personal experience, she feels like if she's there with them, then maybe they won't argue, and things will be safe and calm. And then for her, for comfort object is her stuffed animal. And perhaps she had that when things were still good at home, so that helps her remember that. I'm rambling. But anyway, she, I guess, is crying at night. That's the story. Anyway, the mom wakes up. She goes to check on her daughter in her bedroom that she shares with the boy. and the daughter's missing. So she goes and finds the daughter inside of the bedroom, and it's Patty, his wife, and then she's sleeping next to the wife. And she, of course, freaks out because the daughter's in bed with them. I feel like overreacted just because, and now if she was in the bed next to Patty, then yeah, that's not okay and that's weird. But she was next to the wife. It's not like she was in the middle either. She was like on the end with the wife. And I'm getting to a point, I swear. So they like, we're leaving, we're done, this is not happening, we're not dealing with this anymore. They leave. Like in the middle of the night, they're gone. Bye. Guess who forgot her stupid rabbit? Rabbit is missing again. And I don't know if this was just like accidental, I left my rabbit, or this is like something that like the main bad guy Patty like made sure that she didn't have, so that if they did leave in the middle of the night, that they would have to come back. I don't know that part, but it suggested that this is just she forgot it, right? So they could have been scot-free, left, done, never see them again. Now they have to go back for this stupid rabbit. So they go back, and of course they're awake this time, and they confront them like, she was in your bed, that's not okay, this is not going to happen anymore, we're done, we'll see you later. And so they explain, and this is what I'm getting at to the point is they explain, so they're another step ahead. They're like, well, we used to have a daughter and she died, and I just feel like she's my chance to like have some closure, and I couldn't help it. She was crying for you and you didn't go, and she's like, I couldn't stand it any longer, I was just trying to help. She's like, I feel like parents struggle with when is the right time to intervene and when should you just let it happen. And so, like I said, always a step ahead, like an explanation, like, oh, you lost your daughter, I'm so sorry, you can totally like use my daughter as like your pseudo daughter to feel better, like we don't have to leave because of this, it's fine. So they feel bad and they stay. That was a mistake. The boy takes her to one of the room, takes the little girl to one of the rooms in their house, and he shows them all the watches that the dad owns, and he's trying to communicate like this is not normal. Like he's trying to show her all these watches, and she's like, okay, he has a lot of watches. And then he takes her into like a basement, it'd be like a basement storage shed thing, underground, and he's showing her like, look at all these suitcases. Like they have like just a room full of like suitcases, luggage, watches, phones, jewelry, passports, and they have like a book, and it's pictures of all these families with the bad family, and they always seem to have like a daughter and a son and a mom and husband, or like a husband and wife and like one child. And he's showing them pictures, and how there's always that family, the bad family always has like a different kid with them most of the time. And he's showing her like, this is a picture, and basically he's trying to get this girl, and she's like, I don't get it. I'm like, I get it. He's showing a picture, he's with this man and this woman, and then the bad family's next to him, he's with them. And then the next picture with the new family, he's with the bad family. So he's like, I used to be with this family, and now I'm with this family. He cut my tongue out, is basically what he's trying to tell her. Oh, and another thing is, like, when the girl loses her rabbit, and she's freaking out, they're like, but we need to leave. This place is weird. We'll get you a new rabbit. We just need to do this. And she's like, I don't want them to do to Hoppy what they've done. I don't want them to do that to Hoppy. I don't want them to do that to Hoppy. I'm like, are you not listening? Why aren't you asking your kid, what do you mean, do that? What is that? Like, it took 2 seconds to be like, you said you don't want them to do that to Hoppy. What is that? What do you mean? Ask your freaking kid, okay? She was like begging you to ask her, what do you mean? I swear, if they could just talk, like communicate, half of this wouldn't even happen. So anyway, the girl tells her mom, shows her, she takes pictures of the pictures, and she shows her mom, she's like, we need to go. And mom's like, yeah, we need to go. Patty, the bad guy, ends up realizing, okay, it's getting to that point where they're getting ready to leave. So he flattens the tire, and you don't see him do it, but you know that he did it. And the family's aware that what's up is like they're gonna take their things, and like something's wrong. Clearly Aunt is not their child, and and he's been kidnapped, so there's wrong. They know there's something wrong. They know they're not safe, so they're trying to leave. Tire's flat. Patty helps them fix it. But then all of a sudden, Hoppy's missing again. So I put a leash on this thing. This rabbit, I swear it just hops away on its own because this stupid rabbit is just everywhere, but nowhere at the same time. So they look up and they're like, oh no, Hoppy's on top of the roof. And it's like not even like the short roof, it's like the second story roof. And they're like, oh, we have to get it down. So they get the ladder, and the ladder's all rickety, and like it's on the roof and the shaking, and you're just expecting him to push the ladder over. He doesn't, but you're just expecting it. They end up getting caught. He has them in the cellar. He makes them transfer all their money. They find out that he's not even really a doctor. He lied. And they actually tell the truth as they're going through this, because like the good wife cuts her hand, and Patty's like, oh, I'm not a doctor. And they're like, but you said you were a doctor. And then they're like, no, I don't even have a job. I don't work. We just live here, and I live off of other people's money. And they're like, what? And they're like, ha ha, we're joking. That's the truth. He literally does not have a job. Neither does the wife. And what they do is they steal all these people's money. They like, you can travel. You have all this money. We know you, so that's why we attach onto you. You have a personality that we can use. Great. So they have them transfer all of their money over to this Patty and his wife, and all their assets get transferred over to them. And he's like, in the next week, you're going to give us the title of your car. You're going to make a phone call that says that you're moving back to America to your landlord, so that they know that you're not going to renew your lease, so no one will expect them to be gone. You find out that he just drowns the parents in the lakes, or kills them, or whatever he does. Eventually he just drowns them. I think it would have been like another step, but it was been a step too far if like they were cannibals and ate like the people. I thought that'd be interesting, but it didn't happen. And like the plan was to keep the daughter, and they were going to cut the daughter's tongue out. And I feel like they were going to get rid of the son, because he kept saying to the son, we're going to push you into like with your parents. And plus he was being very uncooperative. At one point they do attack the bad family. The good family attacks the bad family and gets out of there, and like the wife of the bad guy is like, please don't make me stay with him. I was his first. I don't want to be here. Help me. And of course they don't fall for it. But I've been thinking about that, and it makes me wonder if she was the first, because it's implied that he's because the wife, spoiler alert again, the bad wife does die. And he makes the comment that he'll use the daughter as his next wife. So it implies to me that she possibly was one of his first kidnappings or something like that. And that she just stuck with this facade. Because even when they come back, the family comes back from leaving and getting Hoppy back the first time. Because they, like, my daughter died. Situation, they feel bad. She said to them, because he got riled up again. He was being really mean to the son. Patty was being mean to the son, and they're like, we're gonna leave. And she's like, please don't leave like this. She's like, it's gonna be really bad for me if you leave now. Can you please wait until like dinner time or something? Can you please just like, because Patty went to lay down, and she's like, can you please wait until he wakes up? Don't leave until you can say goodbye to him. She's like, it would really make my life easier if you stay. I'll be a lot happier and implied safer if you wait. And the wife's like, oh, was he abusive? And she doesn't answer that question, but she's just keeping him there. I don't know why a murderer would be like, I'm just gonna go take a nap, but he was drunk, so maybe he's not thinking. But anyway, so they end up having a fight. They have to kill them, and the boy does get his revenge on Patty, and it just shows them leave. Not once. Like, they tried to use the landline to call 911, and they cut the landline. Not once did they use their cell phones. I see them so many times with their cell phones, and I didn't see on the cell phones that they didn't have signal. It looked like they had signal. I don't know. Could be wrong. But they have the signal on their phones, so why didn't anyone ever call for help on their phones? No one used help for the phones. I guess that would make things too easy. I don't know. But it's implied that they just leave. They're just drive off. The good guy breaks his leg at some point. I'm pretty sure it's broken. And he just hobbling around on it like no big deal. I skipped through a lot of stuff, I know, but I can't tell you everything because then you're not going to go see the movie. Or if you do, then it's ruined and it's my fault. But I did give you like a 5-second notice, so that's on you, not me, friend. I would rate this movie an 8 out of 10. It is a slow burn, so this is probably something I should have said at the beginning. It's very slow at the beginning, but you know there's something big going to happen that you can expect. So it's like, it's worth waiting because you're like, oh, this is going to get good. And it also lets you see like where things are going to be like, oh yeah, I said this at this dinner party, but then, oh yeah, that's not the truth. I'm not really a doctor, even though we talked about that. I didn't say that. Things like that. So it's like, it kind of laid a lot of needed groundwork and information that you needed to be kind of like, no, wait a minute, I thought you said this. So, or like how they react to certain things, or how you could see like Patty's charm and how you could put on the charm of like, hey, I'm actually this really good guy, and you can see like the bromance forming with Patty and the good dad. And it's things that you needed to see to make more sense about why they went to the house and why they didn't listen to their instincts and why they kept excusing like the breaking of boundaries and accepting their behavior instead of just leaving, and then like the social aspect of it of like, you don't want to be rude, you don't want to be the family that has a blow up and be those kind of people, but in this situation you probably should be, just saying. But I would give it an 8 out of 10 just because of the slow burn. It was a little slow for me, but that's okay. Life moves on. Everything's okay. So, guys, I have to go. But remember to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I will see you later. Bye!